Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier blasted WNBA leadership in her exit interview on Tuesday, accusing League Commissioner Cathy Engelbert of being, quote, negligent in her governance. A moment ago, Clark spoke on the matter. Take a listen.
First of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history. This league's been around for 25 plus years, and this is a moment we have to capitalize on. So that's honestly what I would say. I think Fee said it all with what she said, and I think the points she made were very valid.
Clark has publicly supported Napheesa Collier, delivering a subtle yet impactful message to the WNBA. Clark, who typically stays away from controversy, appears to be taking a different approach this time. Without mentioning anyone directly, she seems to be questioning the league's leadership, and her comments may resonate even more strongly than one of her signature three-pointers. But what did Clark really mean when she said Collier raised valid points? And do you agree with Clark backing Collier in this situation? Let's take a closer look. Once again, the WNBA finds itself facing another uncomfortable headline. This situation isn't just about flagrant fouls, television ratings, or even officiating, although those issues still linger. At its core, the conversation now centers on leadership, or depending on your perspective, a possible lack of it.
Cathy Engelbert should resign as the commissioner of the WNBA. And the reason I said that, fellas, is because when a player, and Napheesa Collier is a star in the WNBA. This is not some role player. This is her, okay? Who also happens to be a vice president. Yep. You understand? Players Association. For her to come out and attack the commissioner, and I say that not in any kind of derogatory way. She was talking about Cathy Engelbert directly. She revealed private conversations. You understand? With quotes from this lady, the commissioner, about what she said that came across as dismissive, as derogatory, and unappreciative of the athletes that represent her.
For anyone who missed the latest drama, Napheesa Collier, one of the WNBA's most respected stars, an Olympic gold medalist, MVP runner-up, and co-founder of Unrivaled, delivered what many viewed as a major public criticism of league leadership last week. She didn't simply hint at problems. She directly challenged WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. What made the moment especially notable was how Collier chose to do it. This wasn't a quick comment on social media, a podcast remark, or an off-the-cuff interview response. Instead, she arrived at her season-ending press conference with a prepared written statement, calm, deliberate, and clearly intentional. Her core message was blunt. She believes the league is lacking accountability from top to bottom. She pointed to inconsistent officiating, poor communication, and what she described as leadership that feels disconnected from players. The situation intensified when Collier said Engelbert had previously told her, quote, "Only losers complain about the refs."
At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value us. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them.
Collier didn't stop there. She went on to say that when she questioned Commissioner Cathy Engelbert about player pay, specifically why stars like Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Buchers are generating massive attention while still earning relatively modest salaries, Engelbert allegedly responded that Clark should be grateful for the roughly $16 million she makes off the court, suggesting that without the WNBA platform, she wouldn't earn that level of income. That remark quickly became a flashpoint. Many observers point out that Clark is more than just another player. She has become one of the league's biggest attractions in recent years. Her college games at Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball broke viewership records, her WNBA debut drew massive audiences, and even her pre-game warm-ups frequently trend on social media. Because of that, Collier's claim that Engelbert dismissed Clark's impact sparked widespread reaction across the league and online.
The person I call the golden goose of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, you understand, who is box office for the WNBA. Just look at the numbers, look at the ratings, look at everything. For her to come out and said, Fee said it all. She's letting you know that Napheesa Collier didn't lie, she didn't mince words, and she didn't misrepresent what the collective body of the league is feeling about this commissioner.
At first, Caitlin Clark remained quiet. She had been focused on recovering from injury, avoiding media appearances, and largely staying out of the controversy. But now she has spoken. While she didn't come out aggressively, she also didn't defend the league. Instead, Clark said she has great respect for Napheesa Collier and believes Collier raised many valid points. That brief statement immediately raised eyebrows. Clark is widely seen as the face of the league's recent growth, so her public alignment with Collier, who has been openly critical of WNBA leadership, quickly became a major talking point. She went further, adding that the league needs strong leadership at every level and that this is a critical moment the WNBA must capitalize on. The wording was careful and professional. Clark avoided direct accusations, but the underlying message was clear enough to spark widespread reaction online. Players shared her comments, fans amplified them, and even analysts expressed surprise at her stance. Clark's agreement with Collier shifted the narrative. What once looked like the frustration of a single player began to resemble a broader player movement. Part of the timing is significant. The WNBA's Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, is set to expire soon, and negotiations have reportedly been tense. Players are pushing for higher salaries, greater input on scheduling, improved playing conditions, and, above all, increased respect. League leadership, meanwhile, has emphasized financial sustainability, a position some players view skeptically. Critics note that the WNBA recently secured a major long-term media rights deal and that franchise valuations have risen sharply, while many players still rely heavily on endorsements and off-season opportunities to supplement their income. Collier's central argument has been that the conversation should shift from sustainability to accountability. With Clark publicly validating parts of that message, pressure on the league has intensified. Her influence and visibility mean her words carry unusual weight, making the situation more challenging for Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and league leadership. Attention has now turned to Engelbert's response, which many fans have described as underwhelming.
I made yesterday, and this is the number one reason I called for Cathy Engelbert to resign. I don't care who it is. If somebody calls you out publicly and you're in a leadership position and you've been called out publicly and attacked that way, you don't give what I said was that weak ass response that Cathy Engelbert got. I'm going to say it again because people thought I stuttered just that. I don't know how because I don't stutter. Weak ass comment. I'm going to say it one more time. Weak ass comeback.
WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert responded by saying she respects Napheesa Collier and all players but was disappointed with how Collier described their conversations, adding that her commitment to players remains unchanged. Critics, including analysts like Scott Van Pelt and Stephen A. Smith, called the response tone-deaf, arguing it sounded overly corporate rather than decisive. Meanwhile, support from Caitlin Clark and comments from Sophie Cunningham have fueled concerns about growing tension between players and league leadership.